I knew a guy once that was always broke, yet he had a good job. He used to make a lot of money. He was always broke, and I found out one day that it was because he used to go to the brothel when he got paid. He was quite rapt when they used to bring him a cup of tea. He used to say they used to bring him a cup of tea. He was an Indian guy, had come from Sri Lanka. But he was always pinching your milk and your toilet paper, and because he never had any money. He spent it all on prostitutes. An addiction to pornography on computers. You can spend hours and hours and hours until the early hours of the morning, not wanting to get yourself off because you're getting a high. Your heart rate's going, your breathing is going, and you're downloading videos, dirty videos, pictures, only to be disappointed in yourself at the end of it all and deleting them all off your computer. Yet it doesn't stop you. It doesn't stop you. You get the urge again, suddenly you're doing it again and again. You see, it's never enough. It's never enough. Pornography is the same. Addiction, as whether it's gambling, the same. Alcoholism, early hours of the morning, you've woken up with a hangover, you're hooking back into that bottle of wine or that vodka. And then you find you can't go to work because you're stuffed the next day. You feel terrible. And you could combine that addiction with pornography, or suddenly you've jumped into a taxi and you've hooked off up to the King's Cross or another place where the prostitutes are alive all night, and you go up there and you're going from credit card to credit card, trying to find out whether there's any credit left so that you can jump another girl, and you have $1,000 bill the next morning on your credit card. This happens to a lot of businessmen out there. $1,000 bill, and you still haven't appeased the addiction within you that requires more. In pornography, they call it feeds. You dial in for a feed, and it is. It's an addiction as a feed. I think it's demonic. I think in the Christian view, if you look at it, if you are dragged along and you can't help it, it's demonic. You've been invaded by a demonic force that is causing you to follow your addiction, and it's destructive. It destroys you, it destroys the friends around you, it destroys relationships. And of course, all it requires is a trigger to be pressed, a button to be pressed again, a trigger to be pulled. And you're back on the line doing the same thing, whether it's gambling, going down to the casino, trying to make money, sitting on those machines, feeding it with money. We seem to be targets for addiction. Addictive behaviour, and it doesn't matter, it could be spending money, it could be shopping, it could be working, it could be hobbies, anything like that, any addictive behaviour. But of course the most destructive is drug addiction, alcoholism. You see, prostitutes are addicted to drugs mainly. I thought at one stage, and on my YouTube, you have a look under the area of prostitutes in a box of Weet-Bix. A lot of prostitutes are working because they're single mums and they need to put Weet-Bix on the table for their kids. The next jump will actually buy the little boy a little ride-on tractor. The next jump will buy the little boy a this or a that, you know. That's the easiest way for them to do it. Yet there was a documentary on this whole scenario, the subject of prostitution, and they interviewed prostitutes down Wellington Way in New Zealand, And one prostitute got on there and said, look, well, where else can I get 7 orgasms a day? She's talking about having 7 men, 7 orgasms a day, you know, and get paid big for it. A lot of them live the high life. A lot of them in New Zealand will jump a limousine and have a limousine driver on call right through the night till they finish their shift. They'll drive all the way up to Auckland, which could be 100 kilometres away, in a limo. Solicit, make money, pay the guy off to drive him back. How do you get out of a scenario when you're addicted, when you're caught up in addictions like that?